Hello and welcome. My name is Erik de Vriendt, and today we're going to speak about how companies can improve their inventory planning using SAP IBP for inventory. We have with us today Robin Van Acker, part of the supply chain team at Flexso. Welcome, Robin.
Hi, Erik. Thanks for having me.
Maybe to start off, can you briefly explain what SAP IBP for inventory is all about?
Yes, sure. So IBP for inventory is a module which is part of the broader IBP portfolio by SAP. IBP, or Integrated Business Planning, is a cloud-based solution that companies can use to basically manage their supply chain planning. And more specifically, IBP for inventory aims at optimizing the setting of or the inventory planning across the supply chain. It's relevant because we see that often companies struggle with finding the right balance. They often put too much inventory at one location and too little inventory at another location, which leads on the one hand to higher inventory costs and maybe even obsolescence. And then on the other hand, it might even lead to lost sales when you have too few stock basically to satisfy your customers. Yep. So, and that's really where IBP for inventory comes into play, because it really addresses this issue and it puts forward a multi-stage optimization to find that right balance, and also it offers scenario possibilities to the planners to play around with their data and to find the right balance between putting the right inventory at the right place at the right time, basically.
Okay, yeah, that looks very relevant, I would say, specifically in today's world. But how does this work in practice? What are some key functionalities from the solution?
Well, if we look at some of the core operators or the core functionalities that are available within IBP for inventory, then we're talking about two main operators. So we have the Multi-Echelon inventory optimization, which calculates the best amount of safety stock at the right place at the right time. So it's going to take the dependencies within your supply chain network as a given, as input, and it's going to calculate through your network and puts the right inventory at the right place at the right time. Secondly, we also have the service level prediction operator, and this operator kind of turns the perspective around. So instead of starting from your customer service level and seeing what then the optimal safety stock would be, you turn around the perspective and you let the planner play with these safety stocks and then assess the impact on what the potential service level would be that you can guarantee towards your customers. So these are two specific functionalities of IBP for inventory, but of course if you look at the broader portfolio, you have some standard IBP functionalities such as the possibility to create scenarios and run simulations that you can use as a planner to kind of assess the impact of several changes. And then secondly, you also have some best of breed analytics tools available right away in IBP. You can basically leverage some embedded SAC possibilities that you can really use to visualize your data and accurately report on your data as well.
Okay, so we have standard possibilities in IBP which are available, and then complemented with some specific inventory solution that can help you to optimize your inventory. You can even start with what you're using today to see what the effect would be on your, or what is the service level that you're reaching today.
Exactly.
Now, okay, this solution needs quite some inputs, I think. How would you position this within the broader SAP IBP landscape?
Yeah, that's a very good question actually, because there is also not always a one-size-fits-all answer to this basically. It often depends on some of the operating procedure or some of the processes which are already present in an organization. However, what we can say is that we really see IBP for inventory playing a crucial role in aligning your inventory planning with your demand and your supply plans. So that's why we basically put it in between demand and supply planning, because IBP for inventory really takes the outputs of the demand planning process, uses this to make calculations and to come up with an optimal inventory plan. And then this inventory plan you can again feed towards your supply planning process in order to not only plan against your demand, but also these inventory targets on top of your actual demand.
Okay, so you really integrate your inventory planning into your sales and operations, meaning you get sales, inventory, and operations planning process.
So you transform your S&OP into an SIOP, where you go into more detail on that inventory planning, where you steer away from some offline calculations or some rules of thumb, but you really make use of optimized target stocks across your supply chain, basically.
Okay, and now, what kind of companies do you believe this solution could be a fit? Could benefit, let's say, from this solution the most?
Well, we think it's ideal for for companies with complex and multi-tiered supply chain. Multi-tiered meaning having several nodes, several chains within your supply chain. And if we look at it from an industry perspective, we see relevant use cases in consumer goods, in automotive, high-tech, pharmaceutical, as well as chemical, for example. So you see a very wide range of industries in which the solution might be beneficial. But if you want to put it bluntly, in fact, every organization that wants to manage their inventory across multiple stages within their supply chain, being different plants, different distribution centers, or different warehouses, we already see that for each of those companies, IBP for inventory can actually deliver value. So then if you take a look at what then the actual benefits are of the module, we basically see that the main aim of IBP for inventory and this inventory planning is to reduce the overall inventory within your organization or within your supply chain, whilst still maintaining and guaranteeing your customer service levels. So if you take a look at that first part, reducing total inventory means also less inventory holding costs, and there's a better cash flow to be expected. And if you take a look at the part of not hurting your customer service level, that often leads to a better product availability and also increased customer satisfaction. And then as a general consensus benefit, basically you say, okay, because your numbers are calculated via an optimizer, via an algorithm which is proven, and you also have solid analytics to back your findings, we can really build trust in the numbers and make sure that you as a planner have always access to up-to-date data, which is really founded and grounded within actual calculations.
Okay. So we really can become a data-driven company also in the area of inventory planning by taking this step. Yeah, thanks for these insights, Robin. It's clear, I think, that IBP for inventory can really help customers to improve and gain more control over their stock levels and basically overall improve their supply chain performance.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.